The Dixon Gallery and Gardens is an art museum here in Memphis, Tennessee. We have artwork that travels from all over the world to be shown in our gallery spaces, and the artwork is always changing, so there's always something new to see. We also have a beautiful garden outside filled with all different types of plants, flowers, and trees.
Hi everyone, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Danielle.
We work for the Dixon Gallery and Gardens, and our job is to teach people about the museum and the gardens outside.
Today we're going to create an art project with you inspired by the Dixon. Let's get started.
From October 17th, 2021 through January 2nd, 2022, the Dixon is hosting a new exhibition called Black Artists in America. In this exhibition, there will be artwork from Black artists all across the United States throughout the 20th century. One of the artists featured in the exhibition is Irene Clark. Irene Clark was born in 1927. That's almost 100 years ago, and she was born in Washington, D.C. She pursued a career in art her whole life, even though it was very rare for a woman, even more so an African-American woman, to be an artist. Clark traveled around the world studying art. She was a gallery director and a member of the African-American Historical and Cultural Society. Clark painted mostly in the folk art style, meaning she kept her images very simple looking. This was most likely inspired by her travels to Haiti, and she said she hoped her art could have universal meaning. She wanted everyone to be able to enjoy it. She studied at the Art Institute of Chicago in Chicago, Illinois, and she lived there for several years. That is where this painting is set. This painting is called A Mansion at Prairie Avenue and is owned by the Art Institute of Chicago. Prairie Avenue in Chicago was the first neighborhood of mansions there. People wanted to live on Prairie Avenue because of how close it was to downtown Chicago, and many millionaires lived on the street. Over the years, pollution and noise from nearby businesses made the street less popular, and wealthy homeowners moved to the other side of the city. Today, only 7 mansions remain on Prairie Avenue, but now they're protected by historical societies. Today, we're going to make our own paper mansions inspired by the mansions of Prairie Avenue. For today's project, we'll need some crayons, some glue, a black marker, 2 sheets of paper, and some scrap paper. Our first step is to take our piece of paper and fold it in half hamburger style. We're going to fold both pieces of paper in half this way. The next step is to glue the 2 folded pieces of paper together. You're going to put some glue on the outside of one of your folded pages and then glue the other on top. Make sure that the folded edges are facing the same direction so that it can open like a book. All of your pages should open in the same direction. Here's how it will open if you've glued it correctly. Next, we're going to sketch out our mansion. You can use a pencil and trace over it with a black marker, or you can sketch directly with a black marker if you're feeling brave. You can decorate your mansion however you like, but think about the painting by Irene Clark and all of the photographs of the mansions from earlier in this video for your inspiration. Add lots of details to make your mansion stand out. Open your booklet to the first page. This is your first room. You can decorate it like any room of your dream house. I'm going to do a living room, so I'm adding some armchairs, a fireplace, and artwork, but you could decorate it however you like. On the next page, you're going to add another room of your mansion. Remember, this is your dream house, so think about how you would use the rooms. For me, since I love art, I would want an art studio in my dream house. But get as creative as you like. On the back of your booklet, you can draw the back of your house, or you might even design a backyard for your mansion. Now my mansion is all sketched out. Using the paper scraps, you can fold on the bottom to make a little stand, so that it will stand up like a paper doll. Fold tabs for as many little characters as you'd like to include in your house. Add characters to your little standing paper scraps. You can draw your real family, or you can create imaginary characters to live in your mansions. You can add pets, babies, whatever you want to add. Now it's time to color. And by color, I mean color everything. You can use your crayons, markers, or whatever you have on hand to complete your project. And here's my finished product. Now we're done coloring and it's time to play. Move your characters from outside to inside your house, let them do activities and play in all the rooms that you've created. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll visit the Dixon soon, and as always, stay creative!